Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. A balanced ego keeps a man from getting played. And you know what? I gotta say that because I'm gonna tell you what. You know what women do when they playing a man? They play right to his ego. And I'm seeing that a lot during this time, during this quarantine thing. You know, because you get a lot of women hitting up some guys. Now, I know I've addressed this before about the ego, but, sometimes I got to address something in context of what's going on in the world. Because you got a lot of guys thinking, oh, yeah, these women want me now. They coming back into the fold. No, they ain't. They playing you. They playing you. And that's how a smart woman get a man. Now remember what I've always said: a man make love to a woman's body, but a woman make love to a man's mind, right? Now there's some esoterics with that. And that's something for my Deep Thought channel, or even an on-demand video. But on a basic level, a smart woman, especially women players, they just get that ego. Like one of the things they do is they'll come on and hit that guy up. It's like, oh, you always a great guy. And then start saying how smart he is and everything. And then when you get some men, especially if they non-select, not used to hearing it, it drive them crazy. They're like, oh, yeah, this woman want me. And, if their ego isn't in check, they might think they got something. Because I've seen plenty of guys get played mainly because of their ego. Like, a woman show them a little bit of interest and they think they got it like that. They be like, yeah, I can do what I want with this woman. I was like, dude, she just stroked that ego. She made love to that mind, And it's like a lot of guys don't have it. It's like it's either the ego is too out of control or the ego is too low. Like a dude who don't have a strong ego, they the main ones who get played. Because they not used to it, particularly non-select guys. They not used to a woman coming on to them, praising them or anything like that, right? They're not used to it. So if they got that weak ego, all the woman had to do is just say, oh, yeah, you look nice. Boom. The man to give her anything. Like, oh, somebody finally liked me. That's how a lot of guys get played. But then if his ego is too the other way, too narcissistic or anything like that, all she does is just confirm what he thinks about himself. In fact, the woman player, and this is defensive game, y'all. The woman player, she'll let you sit there. She'll sit there and let you talk about yourself, even find out about you. And then she'll just play whatever you think about yourself. Right? So she gets you two ways. Like, let me be clear on something. When I talk about the lady players, like a lot of guys might think they have game on women. It's like, no, they don't. Women own the game. Let me just be clear on that. Women own the game. Pimps and players are able to turn it. What they all really do is just turn the game on its head and turn it over. They already realize it. They'll tell you. Talk to any pimp. Talk to a pimp. Talk to a professional pimp, and they'll tell you. Right? So, and the way they run that game is just that ego. In fact, I'm going to tell you what. I've known several strippers. Shoot, I can contact one right now. Me and her cool. She totally retired from the game, though, right? And I'm going to tell you what this one told me. And this was how I am. Oh, and let me be clear, because a lot of times people think I'm focused exclusively on the black community. Nah, this was a white stripper, right? But if you see her now, you think she a soccer mom. So it's like, but what she told me, she said the way she made her money, she make her money in those private sessions. You know how to go in the back room and stuff. She said she ain't had to dance. She just talked to him. Seriously, a lot of times, and even high-end escorts, a lot of high-end escorts don't necessarily have sex with the men they with. They just talk to them. That was the game with female phone sex workers. They definitely just talk to them. They just communicate, and guys will pay for it because what they do, they make love to that mind. They tell that man what he want to hear, make him feel good. They validate him and everything, right? So, if your ego too strong, too narcissistic, they play you. They just go along with whatever program you put in. If it's too low, then the woman plays you. The key is having a balanced ego. So it's not low, but it's not narcissistic. Balance just means this. you keep everything in perspective. You keep everything in perspective. Like, first of all, it's not low where a woman can play it, right? Because she come up and say, oh, you look good, you this and that. A balance, see, the low ego says, oh man, she's saying I'm beautiful. She's, well, handsome and everything. She may be beautiful in some cases. You know, she's saying I'm smart, so they go crazy. She ching, wallet comes out. And then the narcissistic one, she just confirming what he believes. So she reflecting that. She reflects his shit back. Oh, she takes his stuff, gives it right back to him. Basically, what a pimp does to women, pimps get a woman's dreams and sell it right back to her. In fact, that's the pimp player game anyway. They work that ego. Like I said, they take the woman's game and just turn it on his ear, right? So they get that, you know, they get the narcissistic guy and, you know, tell him stuff. But if your shit balanced, first of all, her saying that, you just be like, oh, okay, thanks. Because first of all, balanced ego already feels good about itself. So regardless of what the woman says, you feel good about you good with yourself anyway. Say, oh, she think I'm handsome. Oh, okay, good. Plus, if it's balanced enough, you probably had a lot of women doing it, so you keep it in perspective, right? You keep everything in perspective. But at the same time, she just going along with it or try to feed it or something. You still balanced. You still keep it in perspective, right? Like you might say something, but you know, you're like, oh, okay. Because understand, the ego is necessary. Ego is necessary because the sole purpose of the ego is to protect your psyche. It's a defensive thing. You need an ego. Your ego propels you through life. You know, it gets you through. It tells you, hey, I can get this business started. It tells you, hey, I can approach this woman if that's what you want. It tells you, yeah, if somebody steps to you with their hands up, you can take them out. You know, it's to protect you. And then it especially protects you with somebody, like not just trying to stroke your ego, but just in general, somebody trying to put you down. You know, because a lot of people try to go at somebody and they'll try to like fuck with their ego or something. But if you got a balanced ego, you're like, oh, yeah. You brushing it off your shoulder. You're like, oh, yeah. They say I was this, and that. But your ego says, well, I know I'm this if it's balanced, right? And it's not low enough so when they say something, it don't even bother you. You keep everything in perspective, right? That's an important thing for any man. Like, I'm going to tell you what. Whether you call it game, whether you call it just male-female relationships, whether you just, I don't know, getting pussy, whatever term you want to use, regardless of how you look. Yes, I promote the body game. Let's be clear. And yes, I've said how important it is, right? I've stated that several times. It's extremely important. But it's not 100%. It's not 100%. At best, 75%. At best. So what's up with that other 25? That other 25 is your mindset. And in fact, I would say your mindset even covers the body game because you got to have a certain mindset to even build your body. You got to maintain it. You know? Shit. I said in a previous podcast, the men who've hit the genetic lottery is like 1% of 1%. So it's a small group. But you had to have the mindset to even get to that point to work on your body, work on your grooming, all of that stuff. So ultimately, your mindset is very important. Ultimately, whatever mindset you have. And if you got that mind, part of that mindset is having a balanced ego. Very important when you're going out here because, like I said, there's always going to be something to try to attack your ego. Either somebody directly or indirectly, maybe something they talking about in the news, some propaganda or something like that. But if you have a balanced ego, they can't really get you. It's the strongest thing you could have. A man gotta have it. No ifs, ands, and buts. In fact, I would honestly say before any man really even gets into body game, before any man tries to up his style, before a man try to get money or whatever else, you got to have that ego right. You got to have that ego right. No ifs, ands, and buts. So it's not just a matter of not getting played, but it's a matter of just navigating life in a position of authority. So that's all I got for now. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.